We're live. All right. What is going on, people? I might move that slightly. Nope, that's worse. It has been a hot minute since I've done a stream. Rep Tim Hortons. It's been a hot minute since I've done a stream. That is just because I am very busy as of late. Anybody I've talked to recently, I am moving pretty soon, so that's been taking up a lot of my time looking for houses and stuff, and so unfortunately I haven't been hobbying as much, so there hasn't been any hobby streams because of that, but the little bit I have been doing has been pretty interesting. So I'll probably just ramble on a little bit about my next big upcoming project, and in the meantime I'm going to be painting some Kroot. This is my last current squad of just normal Kroot carnivores. As you can see by this guy, there's some that I've not kit bashed, but I've done some pretty interesting poses with some slight reposing of legs and hips and whatnot. So we got this guy doing the classic jumping Kroot. We've also got some modified rifles. So this guy's got like a shorter version, like a carbine. I'll just show the comparison there. See how his is much shorter. Yeah, you never can paint too much Kroot. I've got so much on the go now, Penguin, that now I can kind of like alternate between like 5 different projects so I don't get bored. I had painted a lot of Kroot there for a while, so I was taking a little bit of a breather. We got this guy here. I think this is the last unique one that's got like a bayonet end instead of the normal scythe blade end. But yeah, so I'm just gonna be painting. I think I've got, what have I got left to do? I've got like 8 left to do. I painted one up real fancy in a different video. Sorry. I have also not slept much in the last like 3 or 4 days, so I'm kind of dying. But that's fine. We're all dying, just some of us faster than others. Definitely on the fast side. Still haven't painted my Chaos Knight, and I got it down. So is that the brand new one, Penguin? Is that the tentacle guy? It's a pretty wild model. Yeah, it's the new one. Okay. Did you get the box set that came with the new War Dogs too? I really like those War Dogs as well. The one thing I wish they the legs were a little more posable. I find they're a little bit static, but I'm sure with just a little bit of modifications you could probably sort that out. I'm just gonna try to slap on some base colors for all these guys. Yeah, the legs are a little boring. Yeah, I know, I don't know if you've heard of this guy, Penguin, Tarot Model Maker. He has a web store and he's also on Instagram. He makes really cool resin parts for knights. He doesn't make whole knights, but he makes like add-on bits for them. So I know he's got like leg adjustment bits, so you can make like the legs longer, and then they can have like more posable joints and stuff. I know he makes the leg bits for the big knights. I'm pretty sure he makes them for the small knights as well, but maybe double check that. I know he's got cool like alternate heads and stuff too. I bought a couple small things from him over the years that I've used in kit bashes and stuff. Like I bought the big like siege claw thing that I used for my one World Eaters Defiler. But let me see what has been shown off in 40K recently that we can chat about. Oh, well, there's all the new Heresy stuff, including that new big tank. I really like the look of that new big tank. I just don't know if I would bother getting it for my World Eaters. Because like World Eaters, it's not really super fluffy to have tanks, or like big shooty tanks and not like transport tanks. Like I have 2 rhinos and I have a land raider, but those are all to get them into combat. I don't know how, it's not very thematic, I guess, for World Eaters to have a big gun sitting in the backfield. But it is very cool. Like, as far as tanks go, I definitely prefer the tank treads to the hover ones, like Primaris ones. My 30k army is going to be 1,000 Suns because I don't need another army. Yeah, because you already are doing 40k 1,000 Suns, right, Penguin? So you can just do it all together. It's pretty cool. Yeah, with 1,000,000 spikes, and I have to. I don't get the choice. I don't get to sit in the back. I have to just drive it forward and try to run somebody over with it. They should. That's one thing I'm like a fun thing. I've said before. I kind of hope in the World Eaters book, I hope there's a rule or a stratagem for vehicles for just that. So you can, whether it's a rhino or land raider or whatever. Like the orcs have one. The orcs have one called ramming speed, where when you charge in, you do mortal wounds because it's just like super fast ramming into something. I think the World Eater should have something like that too, where they can take a normal vehicle that normally doesn't have any combat and just smash it into somebody. I think that would be pretty on brand for them. Let's see, I got all that guy. I'm just slapping the bluish gray now on their clothes and armor bits. A bit of water. Yeah, lots going on. Can't really stick around because it's like 6 in the morning here by now. Oh god. Have you stayed up all night then, Captain Surat? It is, I think it's like midnight here. 11:30 midnight, something like that. So not quite so bad. Frig, what was I just gonna say? I got night shift the rest of the week, so shifting my sleep schedule a bit. Oh, gotcha. That's what I'm on right now. Yeah, I'm on a night shift too. It is. I find it way more rough in the summer. Working these shifts. Because then when I'm on my days off and even during the day, like I don't want to be sleeping. I want to be outside doing stuff. So I just don't sleep enough on my off time. I don't know. Did any of you guys watch that newest snake catching video I put out? That was like, for me, that was such a fun, exciting day. And most people probably would be the exact opposite, but like I was so stoked to find that many snakes in one day. It was really cool. Out doing that. But anyways, I got sidetracked. Oh, did I just miss a message? I enjoyed it. Thanks, Penguin. I'm having some time off during the day or sleeping a proper amount. Yeah, and I know a lot of people will just choose to stay up and, you know, sleep when you're dead kind of thing. Which, for me too, with little kids, like that's when most of my hobby time is, so sometimes you gotta just suck it up and not sleep to get some hobby time in. Now, Penguin, I know you're on Patreon, so you've already seen it. But for anybody else, so I was going to... oh, I didn't even say too, I don't want to jinx it, because all it would take is one person to unsubscribe. But we actually just hit 1,000 subscribers on here, so if I'm not mistaken, I think I can go fill out the little form thingy and get like start getting like ad revenue or whatever because I believe the requirements are 1,000 subscribers, and then like four. It's only like, oh no, did it just go down? Ah, god damn it. Yeah, it was 1,000 earlier. That's fine. But yeah, I know it was 1,000 earlier. I think that the requirements are 1,000 subscribers, and then like 4,000 watch hours over the last year, and we're at like mm, I don't know. We're at more than that, and we've got the watch hours. We just had to get the subscribers. Now that's mostly from that one, the original Kroot Army showcase. I don't know why, because it's not even the one. It's not even the one where I showed off everything. It's the one where I first showed off the town R, and I think I was at like 2,000 points or whatever. But that one just got like something crazy, like 56,000 views or something. So that's like half my watch time right there, just in that one video. But anyways, if we just lost it, we're hopefully gonna hit 1,000 soon, and then I can sort that out. So that's exciting. But yeah, I was gonna just to kind of have something cool to talk about. Kroot conversions with the new 30k to Spartan Creators. And don't worry, you crossed 1,000 soon. So I don't have any plans, Captain, and I'm sorry to keep you awake. I don't have any plans for that, but so what I was going to share, and like I said, I've showed it on my Patreon a little bit, just because I always post stuff there early. I'm actually starting my second Kroot army right now, and what I'm doing is Kroot Chaos Demons. And now what I mean by that is it's just an excuse to do tons and tons of Kroot monsters and Kroot conversions in that way. Just the rules and whatnot fit what I want to do pretty well. And so my idea is that these are Kroot or a kindred that they're really outcast from Kroot society, and they might be like starting to fall to chaos a little bit, but they're not like, I'm not doing like Kroot with tentacles and stuff. These are just Kroot that are just starting to lean that way. They've given in to like their more savage nature. They've started giving in to their more like bestial predatory desires. They've started to evolve themselves that way, and then also some of them anyway, like Slaanesh is it's like obsession. It's like being obsessed with something, whether it's trying to be the best swordsman or getting addicted to fucking hentai porn or whatever it is, right? So some of these Kroot, it's like they've become too obsessed with that, finding their genetic perfection, or their perfect physical form or whatever, because Kroot are constantly evolving and changing themselves that way. So these are Kroot that have gone too far that way. They've crossed the line. They've become obsessed with it. They're eating things that they should never have eaten, trying to get to that form. So it's, like I said, it's just an excuse to make a whole army of freak Kroot, weird conversions and things to represent all the wild demons. And I'm starting with Slaanesh, because at least rules-wise, the demons of Slaanesh, they're very killy in close combat. They're very fast, but then they're also like really low armor and that stuff. So to me, that's Kroot, right? Like they're very fast, nimble, agile, no armor, but killy in close combat. So just the rules that way work good. So I was just going to talk about some of I've planned out a full 2,000 points of Slaanesh, and then after that, I'll diverge and do small bits of Kroot for the other demons. I'm a little bit stuck on Nurgle. I have some vague ideas, but that's the one that's giving me the most trouble. So, and again, like Penguin's probably already seen this. So the first thing I started with is my first Keeper of Secrets. So what I'm using is a Carnosaur from Age of Sigmar. And so I made a super custom rider. I took the Skink Chief, whatever rider it is, for it. And so I took the Skink rider for that, because he's actually more like Kroot size. He's not a small boy like the other Skinks. and I gave him a really cool bird head. It's from one of the Chaos Beasts from Warcry. Gave him that head. I gave him Kroot quills from a 3D printed Kroot head. He's got some really cool custom weapons, so he's riding it. I chopped off his tail, gave him like the little nubby Kroot tail. Then for the actual Carnosaur, chopped off most of the tail, gave him the nubby Kroot tail. I had to sculpt all the scales back in. Then I took his head, sculpted a beak on it, on the actual Carnosaur head, removed the head crest thing and gave him quills as well. And I was able to give him like how Narloks have like the quills coming out the sides. He's got those, and it's from the Troglodon part of that kit. It's got that, it has weird like nose spiky things. So those are coming out the sides as quills, and then I sculpted quills on his head. And then I'm gonna do some cool like trophies and whatever hanging off it. So that's pretty much done. And like I said, Penguin's already seen that. And then the Saurus character from that kit, I converted that as well, and that's the one that's up on YouTube. And I did a little how-to guide on that, how I converted that actually. So that is actually, he's like kind of nothing right now, but eventually I think that he can work well as one of the Khorne characters. They're small HQ characters. He's going to represent that. I don't know what they're all called, Skull Taker, Skull something. But so that's what he's going to be. Sorry, I think I missed a message there. Have I looked into Man Crusher Gargants? I got a pair of them to try in 40 KFI with some Questoris and Armature parts. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen it, Captain. There's a really good Kroot converter. I think he's not doing Kroot anymore, but he did a really cool Kroot army. I think his name on Instagram is Natman87 or something like that. And he did that. He took a Gargant and he just made it into a giant Kroot, and it's hilarious. It looks like it has like a huge bulge in its pants, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it looked really good. I haven't personally thought of that. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Although it totally could work, and I might end up using that for one of the other like greater demons down the road. So the first greater demon keeper of Slaanesh, or keeper of secrets, is going to be that Carnosaur with the guy riding it. Then I'm going to make the chariot things. They've got a couple different types of chariots. I was going to use the old dark elf chariots that are being pulled by cold ones, which are like big velociraptor type things, and Krootify them, replace the dark elf riders with Kroot riders, and use those. They're on the same size bases. They're approximately the same size, so using a different chariot to represent a chariot, obviously that fits just fine. There's a Slaanesh specific demon prince. I can't pronounce its name. It starts with an S. It's got like 10 S's in its name. It's pretty ridiculous. But it's like a demon prince with a guy or a demonette riding on its shoulders. I forget what the name is, but it's got a big axe. I've got a plan for that. I'm going to use I think it's called a Myrebrute Troggoth from the Cruel Boys kit, which again, it's like a big troll guy with an orc riding on its shoulders. Krootify that, and I threw up some. I've got some like what I do when I'm going to do conversions is I'll screenshot the base model, and then I'll draw on it like just with my on your phone, like in photo editor or whatever. I've got some pictures of that I doodled up. So he's going to be the Demon Prince character. So that's 2 characters. Then we got the chariots. For the demonettes, I'm going to get skinks. Just the normal skinks. Cut off their heads. Cut off their hands. Replace the hands with 3D printed Kroot parts. And then I'm actually going to replace the heads with 3D printed Kroot hound heads. So if you can imagine these like little hunched bodies. It's got the Kroot hands. And then like a big snappy Kroot head, or a Kroot hound head on it. They're gonna look pretty wild. They're gonna look like weird like Pac-Man bird creatures. Like they're gonna be pretty nuts. And what's cool about the skink kit is 1, it comes with a bunch of options like cool little weapons and stuff that I can use for other stuff. And 2, it comes with so many models. It comes with like 24 models, and demonettes come in squads of 10. So one box I'll have 2 squads of 10. So I'm probably going to get 2 boxes, and I have some extras from others. I think from the Stegodon kit, I've got some extra skinks. So I'm going to have about 50 of them total. and so I'll have 50 demonettes pretty easily. I just have to get 50 Kroot Hound heads printed. I think I'll have to print them slightly smaller, like probably 0.75 times size. So those are my demonettes. For fiends, which I really like the rules for, they're super fast and annoying. I'm gonna get the, I don't know what they're called. They're from Age of Sigmar again. They're the new High Elf faction, Lumineth Realm Lords. They've got these like kangaroo things they ride on. I don't know what they're called. But I'm basically gonna, if you guys are a dinosaur nerd like me, you'll get this. I'm gonna make them into kind of like Kroot Therizinosaurus. So they kind of run, they're running and their hands are kind of like this. And so I'm gonna give them like more Kroot shaped hands and give them like long claws, because the Fiends of Slaanesh have pinchy crab claws. So instead these ones are gonna have like Freddy Krueger hands. Give them either a 3D printed Kroot Hound head as well, and I'll modify it a little bit with green stuff just so it's different than the skinks. Or I'll use like a Narlock head, something like that. And then their tails are really long, so I'll trim the tail back and give them a Kroot Rider. And the classic Longfingersaurus. Yeah, he's in the new Jurassic World movie, which I haven't seen yet because I've heard it's dog shit, but I will see it at some point. But so we've got those for the Fiends, and then for the Cavalry, which I think are called Seekers, I'm going to use the actual Seeker kit, but the old one, which again is, it's because it's older, it's pretty affordable. And if you guys like Kroot, hopefully you're following Mike Arnold. He doesn't post that much, he doesn't make much, but he's like more than makes up for it with quality. He has a really awesome Kroot army. You should follow him on Instagram if you haven't already, but he replaced their heads with Ripperdactyl heads and did some other slight modifications. But I'll probably do something similar with that to have a bunch of that cavalry. And then last but not least is the Soul Grinder of Slaanesh. That's going to be a big boy, and I'm going to use the Maw Crusher, whatever it's called, Maw Crusher something. It's the big orc dragon thing that walks on its knuckles for the Auric Maw tribes, and Krootify that. And again, that Gnatman guy, he already did that for, I don't know what it was representing, but he made something else out of it, and it looked really cool. So I'm going to use that for the Soul Grinder. Obviously the Soul Grinder has guns, so it'll have some guns on its back, but it's just like a big hulking, because the Soul Grinder is like the Defiler. It's kind of a weird shape, and it doesn't have a base. It's like just very wide. So I needed a really big, thick, chunky model that didn't need a base, and that guy fit the bill. So that's like my 2,000 points of Slaanesh all planned out right there, or Slaanesh Kroot demons, whatever you want to call them. And then from there, we'll work on some others. We'll work on the other demon races. I think I missed some messages there. Captain said, yeah, I think the bulge is kind of amusing, and probably also why they included loincloths for them to keep them PG. Yeah, at least on the one I saw converted, it was pretty out there. Like, my boy was packing. And Penguin said, terrifying in Ark Survival Evolved. Yeah, I used to play the hell out of Ark. I haven't played it in a while. Like, I haven't played any of the newest. I know they've done some more expansions. Like, I know you're like in space now and shit. I haven't played any of that, but yeah, the Longfingersaurus, the Therizinosaurus in Ark is horrible. I can't tell you how many times those things killed me. Or like, you're just like minding your own business, trying to tame shit, or like collect berries or something, and then it's like sitting there in the bushes, and just freaking rips your face off for no reason. Or you're like riding around on your first tame, you're all happy, and then it just ruins your day and resets you back to nothing. You said you don't like the new space one, Penguin? I also never played what's the one where you're underground? You're underground and there's no flyers. I didn't play that one either. But I did play some of the other ones. And the thing is, I never played online either. I'm going to grab some sleep now. If you do another one this week around the same time, I'll see about popping in. You have a good night. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for popping by, Captain. Appreciate it. You go get some sleep. And enjoy your day tomorrow. The space one gives you too much at the start and it's not challenging. Yeah, I think I saw... Does it give you, like, the exosuit right off the bat? I thought I saw that in the trailers or whatever. I'm a PC gamer master race now, so I haven't re-got Arc yet. Funny, I spent all that money to finally get a gaming computer just so that I could play with my little brother, because he's going away to school, and we haven't played once yet. Because the only game I bought so far is Total War Warhammer 2, so I've been playing that a bit, but I haven't played anything with him yet because he doesn't play those games. I got that just for me. I really like it though. I don't know, Penguin, have you played any of the Total Wars yet? I started as I just did the first like campaign. I'm playing as Malekith, the dark elf king, witch king, just because I really liked him in the books I read, the old fantasy books. He was really cool, so started with him, and it's been a lot of fun so far. It turns out I'm really good at having a slave empire. I don't know what that says about me as a person, but very good at it. A lot of slaves. I'm a Tzeentch man myself, but I just don't get how it works. You don't, are you playing Warhammer 3 then, if you're playing as Tzeentch? What about it aren't you, okay, so what about it aren't you getting? Like the actual, like, empire building part, or like the battles, or what? Not that I'm by any means an expert, and I know that Warhammer 3 is a bit different, so I might not, it is a lot though. Like I've probably been, I don't know how many hours I've put into it, not that many, but there's definitely a lot that I still don't understand. Like there's even still like some of the like the way people hotkey and like command units in the battles and stuff. Some of that I still haven't figured out yet. So one thing that helps me a ton, Penguin, at least, I honestly I still do it on harder ones. I play the whole battle in slow mo, up at least in Total War Warhammer 2. It might be different in Warhammer 3, but in the top right you can like pause, fast forward, whatever. I play it in slow mo, so then you're able to react to stuff a lot better. Especially like I always end up doing a lot of like uphill battles where I'm like very much outnumbered or whatever, so I really need to like get the most out of all my things. So I think it's kind of cheating, but whatever, and I'll play it in slow mo. Otherwise, I'll just get overwhelmed. But yeah, I don't know if you can do that in Warhammer 3. I know you can in number 2, and it helped a lot. Another thing that helped me a lot too is, especially if you're fighting like a harder battle, if you can, like you said you're playing as Tzeentch, if you take like a fast moving unit, like a really cheap, crappy fast moving one, I will throw that way up ahead of the rest of the army, and I'll literally just like run around, and what I'll do is I'll end up like luring half of their army into chasing it, whether you have to like attack them for 2 seconds and then run away, and I'll just have this cheap shitty like cavalry or whatever running all over the map with like 3 or 4 of their units chasing it, and sometimes they catch it, sometimes they don't, because it doesn't really matter if it dies. But because they're doing that, then then like half the army's doing that, and then I can easily kill the other half, and then by the time they finally come back, then it's pretty like one-sided at that point. So I don't know if that's any help to you, but I know sieges are a lot different in Warhammer 3 too. I know they made them a lot more dynamic and interesting. Warhammer 2, it's literally just like a wall, and you're defending it. And if they get over it, like, you've pretty much lost. Oh, man. I have a bunch of coworkers that have gone to the dark side and are drinking nothing but Starbucks now, but I just cannot get behind it. Like, I can appreciate some people don't like coffee that much and they prefer to have these, like, cake in a cup type deal, and that's fine. I don't like that, and also I just don't like, I don't think their coffee is very good. Every time I've tried to get just like a double coffee, it has just straight up not been good. And yeah, so if any of y'all in America that don't have access to Tim Hortons, I feel bad for you. I'm not gonna lie, I feel bad. You're missing out. You're missing out. What was that? I missed a message. Starbucks is just expensive. Yeah, that's the other thing, is that it is very expensive too, for sure. For sure. I think your version of Tim's is probably more like Dunkin', right? Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, I did not see what time it is. Alright. I think I gotta end the stream right about there. Thanks for hanging out with me, chatting, guys. I might do another one tonight, and if not, there will be another video out sometime this week. I am working a lot, and as I said at the start of the video, I'm super busy with having to move pretty soon here, so that's taking up a lot of my time. But yeah, I'll have another video up soon this week. What I was gonna do is if all else fails, I'll just crank out like a Kit Bash showcase video, because everybody always likes those. But what I was going to do is I wanted to give my opinion, like my in-game opinion of all of the different Kroot units, like give a review of the Kroot units in current 40k and how I think they are. And I would include like the Legends models, like Narlox and Narlock Riders, and how I think they do, and like maybe just some like ways to get the best use out of them. Because in my opinion, even still in current 40k, I think that most of the Kroot units are still good, and like at the very least you can make them work. So maybe I'll just say like how I would rate them, how I would use them in game, and yeah. And I'm just gonna like get on my soapbox the whole time and be like, we need to bring back the Narlocks, especially the Great Narlocks. Like, why? I don't understand, honestly, why do you do it? Because they know a lot of people have them, because they made the models. Like, why can't they just leave the rules in? Like, why do they have to take them out? Like, I know, like, balance and whatever, but, like, it's just 1 or 2 units that add to a much-loved race. Like, why can't they just leave them in, whether they're up, like, you know what I mean? Like, just, their rule, they updated the rules for Legends. I think everybody would agree the rules are fine. They're not overpowered. They're not broken. Just leave them in. Don't. Why? Anyways, that ends my rant. Thanks for hanging out, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.